All right, we're live. Thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. I'm Joshua Paul with SampleServe. Today we have with us Russell Schindler, CEO of SampleServe, and Andrew Clark, Project Manager at FTS, Field and Technical Services. Today we're going to have a little conversation on the environmental services industry, where it's going, how technology is saving companies like FTS, a lot of common problems in the environmental sampling companies industry, such as like tightening markets, inflation, staffing issues, and growing competition. So I'm going to give it away to Andrew and Russell here, and we're going to go on with our presentation. Take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Yeah, it's hard to believe. I mean, we're halfway through 2022. It's just time flies. What's harder to believe is that there's still companies out there that refuse to use or implement these electronic data collection tools to simplify the process of groundwater sampling and field data collection. I've been doing this for over 14 years, and I can recall the days of, in the field, combining gauging and inspection forms for sites with over 200 wells. In addition to potential like transcription errors, messy writing, preparing these forms is very time consuming, right? And that time is likely passed on, to the client in most cases. So what this real-time data allows is almost instant office review, and it provides opportunity to do confirmations of any field measurements while the crew is still out in the field, if necessary. With all the features of SampleServe, reporting bottlenecks are nearly eliminated, as all users have online access to the current project or projects, so they can currently see the status of the events. So I'll pass it to Russell. He'll provide some more information on how SampleServe works.
So the SampleServe is an online platform for managing and collecting samples and generating your reports. And the whole purpose of sampling is to gather information so you can get a snapshot of what your site looks like at any given time. And then property owners want to be able to see that. And then being able to generate that information quickly and easily is really the goal of technology, at least our technology. And there shouldn't be any delay. There's no need for a delay between labs reporting data and being able to push it and be able to use it and see it in action. There's same day lab results. You can literally have your report delivered to your client inside an hour. It does democratize the reporting. It's very, very simple to use. Anybody invited to the project at a certain level is able to generate these reports very quickly. You can even give access to your clients so that they can see what's going on real quickly. So it streamlines the data and increases the accuracy of data transcription. As Andrew mentioned previously, penmanship in the newer generation has gone digital, seems to be decreasing. Mine was horrible even before data, but seems to, legibility in penmanship is going downhill.
Yeah, for sure. So one of many reasons that we've teamed up with SampleServe, I would say a lot has changed in the last 2 years, both in the world that we're living in and here at FTS. So the one thing that remains constant that hasn't changed is our commitment to provide services using the latest technologies that are available. As a result, the process becomes simplified, quicker, more accurate for sure, and it costs less for the client. So now I'll hand it back to Russell so he can explain how SampleServe works.
So the SampleServe platform is made up of 4 main components. The first part is the project management tool. This is where you're going to set up your project. You're going to upload your site information, your maps, your base maps, your well construction details, your sample location information. You're actually going to connect to the laboratory right through this platform as well. You're going to be able to determine the lab's going to have their menu, their analytical parameter menu populated. You pull from that menu which tests you want, and you can create that scope of work. When you're going to sample, what you're going to sample, where you're going to sample, You create that scope work, you hit the save button, then that gets pushed to the mobile field app. And with the mobile field app, you're going to be able to enter in all your field data. You can create custom forms. So if you got a remediation system, you need to grab some numbers off of or something like that, you'll be able to enter that into the field data. You can take photographs. You're going to get GPS coordinates. And it's also going to print your labels in the field right at the time of sampling. Our labels have QR codes on them, which help laboratories receive that information. And then when you're done sampling for the day or done with the project, you're going to be able to just hit a button and you're going to generate the chain of custody, which is then going to get pushed to the laboratory. It generates in just a matter of seconds. And then that data file gets pushed to the lab. We have a separate lab app, which is free for laboratories to use. There's actually no cost for laboratories. They're going to be able to receive that digital chain of custody in a format that allows them to push that data right into their lab system. The other beautiful thing is the labs can actually see scheduled events. They see when samples are in transit. They can actually look to see whether there's something with a short hold time. It'll even warn them that something's of a short hold time. And then when the samples do arrive, they just scan that QR code on the bottles, and then they're able to push that data in. So it saves them substantially. They can literally scan a whole cooler full of samples in under a minute. And then when the analysis is complete, right, they finish the lab analysis, they're going to be able to just drag and drop that data back to the platform. And then the user is able to generate all the custom graphics that they would normally take them hours or days to complete. Data box maps, groundwater contour maps, isochemical contour maps, all kinds of data graphs, you name it, we can graph it. And then all kinds of data tables with comparison to whether you're above or below whatever criteria your specific state is, or even your own customized cleanup criteria. And so, Andrew, you guys do low flow groundwater sampling, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Nationwide environmental service provider. So we offer all types of environmental sampling, collection services. Our bread and butter is groundwater monitoring. And, as you can see, the prices listed here, as low as $145 per sample. But yeah.
And Andrew, that price, when you give them a per sample price, that includes everything. I see, field filters. If you doing a dissolved lead or something like that, it's extra. But especially with the price of filters, but it includes everything, mobilization, everything. So you quote them, $200 a well, 10 wells, it's 200 times 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to make it as simple as possible, to eliminate or minimize unnecessary review invoicing. We all know that invoicing is, what do I want to say? It's painful sometimes. So, we want to try to minimize that pain for our clients. With the current economic situation right now, I don't know, most people are probably keeping track of it, but the latest CPI for May, we're at 8.6%. So, it's time. It's time for companies to reevaluate their approach to environmental liabilities and the remedial activities that go along with it. So, with that said, let FTS and SampleServe provide that opportunity to save you and add value to your programs.
And so you guys do not just low flow sampling, but 3-volume purge sampling as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Still operate. Many sites still require this as part of their sampling procedures for us. So we do this, very routinely. I was actually just out last week training an employee on this technique, and we did oversight with a regulatory agency at the same time. So,
and Andrew, when somebody asks you for a quote, it's not just for that round of sampling, right? You could quote them for the next year. Is that correct?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Once we get that routine, once we get that, just the process down, the site using this tool, the price is going to be very consistent from event to event.
Okay. And you do soil vapor sampling as, more and more is learned about soil vapor and, VOCs in soil. There's a lot more requirements for soil vapor sampling. You guys do that type of sampling as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have, plenty of experience, professional experience doing soil vapor. I would say we don't do it as much as groundwater, but we have our fair share of experience when it comes to soil vapor sampling.
Okay. And other types of sampling?
So as you see listed here, PFAS, that's emerging contaminants. So that's an industry that's ever evolving. You have newer no purge sampling procedures like hydrosleeves and PDBs. Have several sites where we implement those, and outside of our sampling services, we offer so many different things too. Operations and maintenance, O&M that includes like NAPL recovery, treatment of groundwater, and acid mine drainage treatment as well, AMD. So, and in-house, we also have personnel with years of experience with data management, reporting compliance, permit renewals, and waste management. So we're well-rounded when it comes to that, and not just a firm that goes out and collects samples.
And so if somebody uses you to collect the samples and you're using the SampleServe platform for collecting samples, project management, all that stuff, as we had mentioned, the reporting is included with that, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. And so the client can then go through and generate all their own reports. You're going to give them access. So they have your field data, then the lab data gets pushed into the platform, and they're able to generate all these common graphics, a lot listed here. Data box maps, all kinds of contour maps, isochemical contour, free product contours, all kinds of graphs and all kinds of tables that are included with your sampling services. So they get this reporting functionality included with your fee.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then, so the SampleServe platform, and we've been doing this for quite a while now, it saves our clients and guys like Andrew and FTS in literally every category of work. The project management tool becomes very simple. If you're doing quarterly sampling, you set up one quarter, you're able to just copy that for the next quarters. If you need to make an edit to one of those quarters, it's very simple to make. The lab interface, as you can see, saves a ton of issues for the laboratory. They can literally just scan and enter the data right away. The field staff become about 20% more efficient, plus or minus, depending on the project. And then the data management and the reporting is about 90% more efficient on its own. I routinely generate or demonstrate where I can generate a full suite of graphics in under 5 minutes. So, which all leads to the ability to have better communication, better data quality, better reporting, and hopefully site closures.
Yeah, and Russell, just to add to that, if you want to back up a slide,
Yep.
The beauty of this program that you guys have put together is the functionality, the user ability, and the required training that it takes to actually use the software. I mean, there's virtually no training that goes along with this. So you can hand the tablet, to somebody, and they're able to process and work through the program with very, very little training. One of the key features in my mind, and one of the biggest cost savings for our people and for our clients, is if you have folks that have been trained internally, they know the processes, they know the standard operating procedures. There's an integrated GPS location system within this program where you can select a well, and you can send somebody that's never been to the site before. They can select the well, and it shows them right on the tablet where the well is located. So without any prior institutional knowledge of being at the site or where wells are located, you can simply log in, click a well, shows you where you're at, shows you how to get to the well. Very easy to find, huge cost savings. It cuts the gauging well inspection time. I could almost say, I don't want to say in half, but it's a significant savings just in that task alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's photos of each well location as well.
Yeah.
So you can confirm.
I mean, I could go on and on about it. It's just,
yeah. And we've had people say that it does cut up, especially when you're just collecting groundwater elevations, it saves probably half your time. So, because as somebody who still samples. Finding wells, especially if you haven't been there before, can be pretty challenging.
Yep.
And so
this
ahead.
just shows a list of who SampleServe and FTS serve as clients or currently working with.
Yeah.
And then if you, if you want to reach out to us, my email is right here. If you want to just, do a price check or get a cost or anything like that, you can simply email me. You can call me. I can provide my phone number or we can provide my phone number, my cell phone number, provide some information about your project, your projects. We'll take a look at it and get you a quote back, as soon as we can.
Yeah. So your phone number is right there in your email.
Yep. Good stuff, guys. All right. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, Andrew and Russell.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, a lot of businesses this year have had to increase prices because their costs have increased. I want to ask you, like, has implementing more technology helped you guys negate any of these price increases that a lot of businesses are seeing?
Yeah, I think it helps. Definitely helps some of the pain that people are feeling because we can, like I said previously, like we can hand this over, and basically save time for you guys. So it sort of washes some of the increases in rates because you're saving that time in the field and not basically spending as much time looking for wells. I mean, it's as simple as that. Yeah.
And Russell, in a time where companies are feeling crunched from every angle, pretty much, have you seen SampleServe help businesses with their platform in different ways?
Well, yeah, just as Andrew was alluding to, traditionally, or at least now in the most recent past, finding employees has been difficult, right? Everyone is complaining about not being able to find enough help. We talk to clients all the time. But as I mentioned, the field app has been shown and proven. We've got lots of testimonials and real data showing that we make people about 20% more efficient, the field people about 20% more efficient. And so if you're in the need to hire more field technicians, well, maybe you don't. If you can make all your technicians 20% more efficient, that's one more day a week you're getting work done, essentially. So, and then the other thing is, lots of economists, are predicting that we're going to be sliding into a recession. And during recessions, there's a lot of increased pressure to look for low-cost alternatives. So if you can do something to at least avoid having to raise prices by reducing your own internal costs, it's just going to put you in a better market position to be able to, provide the same service and keep your profit margin or even increase your profit margin. So,
right. And Andrew, how hard was adopting the software? Was it expensive? Did it take long? Getting projects set up, training. And I know you covered some of it before, but like just starting it all off, how was it?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, luckily SampleServe has some programs in place, some leasing programs. If you don't want to purchase, the equipment itself, we went ahead and purchased the equipment, and we purchased, tablets that have cellular data. So ours are actually communicating all the time, which is nice because then you can see, what the other person is doing at, basically real time out there. So no, I mean, again, going back to the training, very little training that goes along with this. I mean, you're handing the app off to somebody. There's some syncing techniques that you have to learn so that you understand the proper sync functions to pass the data back and forth and to the server. But other than that, I mean, very low overhead startup cost to be involved with SampleServe, and overall, it's, again, you're making your money back by the time you're saving in the field. So,
right. That's good stuff, guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to end it there. Thank you. I think we covered pretty much everything we needed to cover. Yeah. If you have any questions, we got Andrew's email up there, Russell's email. So we're going to end it there. Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Yep.
All right. See you.